What's going on, guys? Very 20 here, and we finally got some NASCAR Heat 3 news. So I don't really want to mess around here too much. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the trailer all the way through, and we'll sort of kind of talk about it.
Look, be committed. This is the toughest thing that you're going to tackle. The best of the best.
Be ready, green flag.
The most competitive and toughest form of motorsports in the world. Everything you do is more critical than it ever was because everybody at that level is already a champion. You have to race the best of the best. It's an all-star race every weekend. Is the ultimate, it's the show. It's on.
So we'll go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So, I mean, we've got quite a lot of stuff going on here in this trailer. It played for like 15 seconds. It blew by. I didn't even know what I watched the first time around. Everything just kind of blew by so quick. But, yeah, it's definitely worth a rewatch a couple of times here. But we'll kind of go through this. So, yeah, so we got Ray Evernham, and he's kind of talking like, man, it's an all-star race. Like, all these guys are champions. He's talking this up like it's a really hard deal. Hopefully it's a skosh harder than Heat Evolution and NASCAR Heat 2, because, I mean, honestly, the difficulty was really bad after a while. Well, I mean, you couldn't even really upgrade in Heat 2, but if you sign with a 5-star team, I mean, you pretty much blew everybody out of the waters. I mean, it was the difficulty was hasn't been quite tuned yet, so hopefully, yeah, it's a little bit harder this go around, but yeah, so off the bat here, we got a couple of different just clips of, looks like we got Mosport, we got the Roval here, we got some people chilling up here, so that looks pretty cool. Now, one of the next things I noticed here, so I think they were talking about, here we go, the some of the, like, stories. So it looks like they're kind of rolling off the grid here. We got qualifying notes, pole winner, Joe Logano heads up the front row. So you got that, and I think we got one for Denny Hamlin here. So yeah, Denny Hamlin claims the fastest qualified time. So with this, we've only got these two clips with Hamlin and Logano. Denny Hamlin claims the fast qualifying time, and then Joe Logano heads up the front row. So so apparently now Amazon has a thing, the features of this game, and one of them is stories. So basically they say, before the green flag waves, get live updates on your race. Watch as a driver gets sent to the back for a technical violation and get updates on who's having a good weekend. So that's actually really, really cool. Again, done right. This does kind of remind me of Thunder 04. You hop on the grid, they give you stories about how seasons are going for some guys, and they always usually have a spot about you, or either the rivals you made, or how you qualified, where you're at in the points. So I'm not sure if it's going to go quite to that level, but that will be pretty cool. That's pretty realistic. Send Truex to the back for a violation, or Kevin Harvick. So that's actually a really, really cool feature. So we'll see how far the stories go. As far as they go right now, it's only talking about the front row, but I'm sure we'll see more of that. So that's pretty cool. So the next list we got here, this basically just scrolls through all the drivers. So we got the Bradmobile. We got just about everybody else in here. We got Corey LaJoie in the 72 car. So hopefully we'll see some engine failures in this year's game. I'm sure he'll have his fair share. And again, the quality isn't very good, just coming from the stream. So one interesting thing I noticed here, let's see if we can get highlight over Paul Menard. Okay, we got a couple of them. So if you guys remember from the Heat 2 DLC, the 2018 update, Danica is in the game, apparently. Which I just now found out. I didn't even see that the first time around. But yeah, if you guys remember from the DLC, the waiting for approval numbers. So Paul Menard actually has one as well. Oh, Michael McDowell does on the thumbnail here. Here you go. Here's the one for Paul Menard. So we don't have the number there either. And there's the one for Michael McDowell. So yeah, in the DLC, I guess it's still that way. You just don't have the little number there. So hopefully they get that before the release of the game. So than that, I mean, all this pretty much looks the same, except for the fact that we're looking at Trevor Bayne here and looking at an Eric Almirola car. That's a little concerning. But yeah, so the next part here. So this is pretty interesting. Obviously, we got some trucks we haven't seen here, and it looks like the majority of the field are just like filler trucks up here, just plain yellow, red, blue trucks here. So you get this giant ready to go green thing when we go back green, it looks like. So I appreciate that. But here's some clips from the Roval there. You got Chase Elliott digging at Talladega. And a lot of this stuff looks the same. Obviously, the graphics aren't going to see that much of a change since they're on basically the same engine. So, you know, when you just look at it, it honestly looks a good bit like the same game. For me, I'm not really too concerned about that. Again, I'm always way over gameplay than graphics. I'd rather have the gameplay a lot better than what the graphics. Honestly, I didn't really think the graphics were all too bad. Again, it's not really that big of a deal for me. As long as the game's entertaining, I don't really care too much how the game looks, especially, you know, Heat 2, I didn't think it looked all that bad. So as long as the gameplay is good, you know, it really doesn't matter to me. But I know a lot of the people out there are looking for better graphics, and I'm sure they'll get there. But I think they really need to work on, at least, you know, before we saw this, my biggest thing was they needed to work a lot more on the gameplay than the graphics, because the gameplay needed a lot of addressing. So hopefully we see that in this year's game. But yeah, so a lot of this, like, got a lot of really quick clips that just, you know, we got a driving line there. A lot of this looks pretty close to the same. So we got some pit stops here. And this kind of cycles in between all the series here. So that's pretty cool. Now this kind of reminded me of Thunder 04. So we got the Jackman jumping over the left front tire changer here. That's pretty cool. Hopefully we see like pit stop mistakes and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if that'll be a thing, but that's a pretty cool animation, him jumping over. Now here's the next part that's a little concerning to me. You guys know who watched my Heat 2 career mode had a lot of issues with the rivals. Here's Ryan Newman just straight up dumping Casey Kane's shit. I mean, he straight hooked him from the left rear and just turned him right around. So I don't know if that's some rival action, or, you know, somebody was like just recording the trailer and thought it'd be a fun time to turn Casey Kane. That's you know, maybe a cool clip for the trailer. But yeah, you know, it was pretty bad. I got wrecked by my rivals quite a few times, but if they start hooking me on the straightaway, that's not going to be good. But yeah, so this is really the only clip that I remember that you can kind of see the damage. And again, what, you know, it's not very clear, but I mean, I don't know if it really looks all too much better. One of the biggest things for me, like, again, I don't really care about the graphics, but a lot of the AI cars, they would get damaged and their cars would look so mangled and stuff, or like the hood would be pushed up like this, and it just didn't affect them. You know, that's one of the things I really want to see for Heat 3 is the AI, and, you know, they get damaged. I like to see them either get it fixed or just be off the pace, one of the two, instead of driving with their hood halfway up in the air and, you know, still running blazing times and tracking me down in my 3-star cars. So yeah, there's that. Casey Kane gets dumped in the trailer. Other than that, you know, we go back to a couple more clips. So it's just some quick, you know, pass-bys and stuff like that. And once again, everything looks, you know, halfway decent. And, I mean, this is just little clips for the trailer, so there's nothing really to look at too much. But then we come to this. So this is probably the biggest part of the announcement, I would assume. So we get a new series. Right on top of the Cups, the Xfinity truck, we have like this modified dirt tour kind of thing, which includes a dirt road course. So that's interesting. So yeah, that's, you know, one of the first things you see here. So honestly, I thought this actually looked pretty darn good. Now again, going back to NASCAR Heat 2, the only taste of dirt we had was Eldora in the Truck Series. And I'm going to be 100% honest, I was not a big fan of it. I thought it could have been done better, but honestly, I thought it could have been done worse as well. My only problem with it is it was like limited. Like, it was basically just like full throttle and turn. Like, there was no real, like, I don't know, you just held it wide open and you just kind of whipped it back and forth and you got around there. So I'd like to see it, you know, be a little bit more challenging. Obviously, you know, a lot of the players are going to be on just the controllers instead of a wheel, so you don't want it to be too out of control. But you know, you want to see a little bit of skill in there as well. I want to be able to actually like use the gas and have a little bit of throttle control and have that help me be better than the AI or better than somebody online. Instead, it's just kind of like everybody runs full throttle and you know, run as close as you can to the bottom of the wall. So hopefully you can, you know, there's a little bit more room to move around and really like race. So with this, I think you're going to see a lot of bit of that. Yeah, so there's the road course there. So we got a couple more clips and everything looks, you know, pretty solid. Again, some of the you can kind of see it right here. Whoever this is digging. and it's got the rear end hanging out, a decent amount. They released some of the images. I was a little bit concerned because once again, with the Dirt and Heat 2, you just didn't really get it hanging out. I mean, the trucks don't really hang out at Eldora all that much anyways. Like, it's pretty, you're not doing a lot of sliding. With these, you're going to do a lot more sliding in these late models. So, once again, hopefully you see more of that. The screenshots, it looked like a lot of the cars were just kind of straight, and you were just kind of driving the track like a pavement track. So, hopefully there's a little bit more sliding action, and you can really get up on it. But it's a pretty cool clip here. We got some guys slinging by here. Now this is pretty cool. Dirt at Bristol, so you're gonna be able to run the modifieds at a dirt configuration at Bristol. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And so some of this other stuff. Here comes some of the behind the scenes stuff that I'm really interested in. This is where I felt like NASCAR E2 was really, really lacking. Even I thought Heat Evolution did it a little bit better. But once again, this kind of brings me back to NASCAR Thunder 2004. So by the looks of this, now this looks like kind of owning your own team. We got your employees here, your different bays, short track 2, and you got the normal cars. So the engines, the aero, and you got suspension. So that's pretty bare, honestly. Hopefully, maybe you get some more out of that instead of just 3 traits of the car, I guess. I mean, we really don't know how this works as it is, but you can adjust the work plan, employees, and departments. And it also looks like some of these guys, some of these employees, I guess, have ratings. So you got 3 different slots here. It looks like they're all going plus. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. It's so pixelated from the stream. But so you got like +3, +1, +4. It looks like. So this kind of looks like -3. I don't know if that's the case, but +2. So this is definitely what the game needs, man. Especially for career mode. If you're gonna own your own team, you gotta make it in depth. So you gotta bring, obviously making the car better, having different stuff you can buy, employees, having departments. Like, I talked about all of this in my NASCAR E3 wish list. I mean, basically, if they could just copy and paste what they had for Thunder 04 and bring a lot of that in, and a lot of the different upgrades and shops you could buy, that's huge. This is just for the Dirt Late model team, it appears. I think we see a little bit more as we go, but so that's. I'm not 100% sure what to make of all of this right here, but I like it. It's already more than what we had with NASCAR Heat 2, so. Once again, as long as you can at least upgrade. We couldn't even upgrade in NASCAR Heat 2. How was that not a thing? It was a thing in Heat Evolution. It wasn't a thing in NASCAR Heat 2. You couldn't upgrade your car whatsoever. So with this, you can also own your own team as well. So you can own your own team and should be able to sign on with people as well. So either way, hopefully you can upgrade whether you sign on somebody's team or if you create your own. So up next here, you got Haley Deegan's truck, it appears. So not in the truck series yet, but looks like they used NASCAR Next drivers for field fillers in the truck series. So again, they did that last year, so that's cool. I'm a little bit I'm not sure what's going on here. Like right at the end of the clip, we end up on the apron here. Now it didn't look like the truck was gonna break loose or anything. We're in turn 2. We're like halfway on the apron. So I don't know if this is somebody driving here or this is just the AI, but I mean honestly, we've seen the AI do that before where they just kind of like cut the corner and they end up like halfway on the apron coming out of the corner sometimes. I want to say that was something in Heat Evolution, but again, a little bit of concern there. I'm not sure what's going on here, but hopefully this is not a productive line in NASCAR Heat 3. I don't want to have to use the apron. I don't want the AI using the apron against me coming out of the corner. Should be sort of kind of up here. But so on to the next part here. It's department upgrades. So the engine department is in charge of the heart of the car, and so where all the power is created, a better engine will give more power over a longer period of time. So, I mean, we didn't really need that. But, this still appears to be the late model team, the Dirt Late model team. So you got engine, aerodynamics, suspension, basically the same 3 traits that we had earlier. They were what we were looking at earlier. So I'm not really sure what to make of this. The max is 94. And it looks like, I don't know if it's already maxed down or what, but we also got level 2 here. So, we never really see any, like, development or anything for any of the next 3 teams. So, I would assume, once, if you're in your own Xfinity or truck team or Cup Series team, hopefully you're going to be able to upgrade. We didn't see it in the trailer, but we should be able to, I'm a little bit worried because we didn't have it last year. I don't see how we could go another year without being able to upgrade once you're in the top 3 series. But if that is the case, hopefully when we get to those top 3 series, we get more than just the engine, aerodynamics, and suspension to upgrade. Hopefully we get more aspects of that to mess with and, make it a little bit longer of a process. Just kind of thinking over to my F1 series, there's like 90 different things you can upgrade. This we've only got like 3 so far. So again, this is only the dirt late model stuff, but hopefully we get a little bit more. But other than that, we got 8,400 funds. So another thing I did want to read off from the Amazon description about NASCAR Heat 3, deeper career mode. Make a name for yourself in the Extreme Dirt Tour and advance to NASCAR's 3 national series. Sign contracts with the biggest racing teams in NASCAR or start your own. So, okay, the first line there. Make a name for yourself in the Extreme Dirt Tour. In NASCAR Heat 2, you couldn't even put your own name in the game. So hopefully that's a thing. That was another thing the game really needed is some personalization. I would have put my own name on the car. If I signed for somebody and I end up running, let's say I take over for Chase Elliott and I run the 9 Cup car, am I going to be able to put my own name on that car? Is that name going to be on the back windshield? Either way, if I create my own team, is my name going to be on that car? It at least better be on my own car. I can understand maybe not on Chase Elliott's car, but please let me put my own name into the game. I want to have, I want to hopefully have the ability to basically put my own paint scheme together, assuming we get a paint booth or whatever, number font, stuff like that. That's a whole nother level that we never really got any explanation for in the trailer. Hopefully get some more later. So you're going to be able to basically, sign with anybody, it seems, I would assume, in this year's game, much like it was in NASCAR Heat 2. So you could sign from like 5 to 3-star teams. But, you had to run hot seats for them. So if you ran a hot seat, if you ran in the 48 car, you would get offers. Well, if you completed it, you would get offers from all 4 teams. So you could drive the 48 to 24 or, any of the other Hendrick cars. So, I'm not sure if that's going to be the same way or, how it's going to be there. But, I'm sure we'll hear some more about that at a later date. But depending on how the development is, I'm thinking I'll probably at least, try it out. Trying to put my own team together. But either way, hopefully you'll be able to, especially develop on your own team. But if you sign with like a 3-star team, like an already existing team, if I get the chance, I'd love to sign with Starcom Racing and take them and be a championship level team with them. And NASCAR Heat 2 is kind of hard. You never were able to really develop your team, but if you got all the way to Homestead, it was kind of easy to win that race, but just based off of the AI cars running the high side, and you could just kind of mosey around the bottom and usually be faster than most everybody you needed to be. So once again, we didn't see any of the developmental side of the top 3 teams, so hopefully we get a little bit more on that end, but hopefully it's a for sure thing that we get to develop, whether you own your own team or you sign with somebody. And we get a couple more like clips and stuff. The shadows look pretty good, I guess. We got Tyler Reddick here, so that's not too bad. So next, we're seeing a lot of the dirt late model stuffs. I wasn't, we get a look at how this sort of kind of works. I would assume a lot of this same stuff for the dirt late model teams will kind of transfer to all the way up to the Cup Series. So team contracts. This is the end of season contracts. So it looks like once you finish your opening season or whatever, I don't know, like last year we had hot seats. So when you started your career, you did 6, 7, 8 hot seat ride offers for different teams, and then at the end of the season you were able to sign with somebody. This I'm a bit disappointed with because it looks like we still have the same rating system, 3 to 5 stars. My opinion, I would have loved to seen it go from 1 to 5 stars just to make it a little bit deeper. Honestly, I would have said screw that and just go from like a 0 to 99 rating. The hell with that. That way you can be a little bit more precise with it. But 3 to 5 stars just wasn't cutting it for me in NASCAR Heat 2 because a lot of the teams, I don't know, it's just hard to stick everybody in. There's just such a big difference in real life from some of the teams to some of the other teams, and I just don't think 3 to 5 stars quite cuts it. But it looks like that's what we're gonna have here. So yeah, we got all the teams here. We got NASCAR Heat 3 Motorsports. So yeah, there you go. There's a different. So there's the race payouts and stuff. So Obviously, the 4-star team pays 1,800. That's a 4-star team, and these other 3-star teams. And I guess we got a little arrow here that would take us over to some 4 or 5-star teams. So again, pretty close to what we had in NASCAR Heat 2. So we'll go ahead and scroll on up here. So there you go. There was another team right there. That's another 4-star team, and they all pay the same, it looks like. So here we got some racing at Daytona. No monster logos or anything on the Hendrick guys. So looks like we got a filler car back there. So we're missing Chase Elliott. But we got this got a yellow filler car kind of over there. So next up here, this looks to be home base, I guess. So once again, you got the dirt late models here in the background. So this looks to be your shop when you own a team. That would be my guess. So first off, the next race, I think they said they're adding 7 new tracks. So obviously the dirt track at Charlotte is going to be one of them. I don't know if they're going to count the dirt configuration of Bristol, but of course we'll get the road course. And so we got next race, facility, reputation, teams, and season status. So I would assume the reputation, that could go 2 different ways. The first thing that came to mind, I want to say, was Thunder 2005. I want to say there was a page where you could either be a hero or a villain. It kind of reminds me of that, just looking at it. But I would imagine that was probably where you get your list of rivals like you did last year. Season 1 here, once again, 8,400 in the bank, 25 whole fans, and then you get your list. So you got the Extreme Dirt Tour, Truck Series, Xfinity, and Monster Energy Cup Series, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. We got 1 of 14 races, 23rd place. Well, that's interesting. That seems to be about last. Yeah, so other than that, really, got a lot of paperwork here. And, of course, your team working in the background, so that's pretty cool. I would imagine you can go off into teams and you can fix up your team, whether you want to upgrade this, and that, and hire new people or whatever. Season status should be all the points and stuff. So, I don't know, just looking at this off the bat, I feel like it might be a little bit dry. Again, we don't 100% know what we're looking at, but I mean, it's definitely better. As long as we, at least for me, as long as we see an improvement. I'm always big on career mode, so I want to see a deeper career mode. I was a little bit worried about them adding another series. I thought, personally, Trucks Xfinity Cup was great. It gives you a long time to go up through the ranks, if done right, between those series. This obviously adds, another level with it for the Dirt Series, but I just don't want them to neglect things from career mode that you could add, especially just like upgrading, because once again, if you guys watch the 2004 career mode, it just takes so long to upgrade and to be good. I would imagine, not everybody's about that. But for me, I wouldn't mind doing like a season or 2 or 3 in Truck Series just to, afford to start up an Xfinity Series team or, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with that, whether it's save up money and go up to the next series, or you happen to get a ride offer or something like that and you build off of that. Maybe you could just get the Rich Kid Starter Pack and just pop right into the Cup Series with all the money you need. But, I mean, so far I do like what I see. We still got a little bit more of the trailer here, but yeah, it definitely looks a little bit more in depth. So that's something I couldn't stress enough with NASCAR Heat 2 is just need more depth with the career mode, because there's so much stuff you could do with it. So much stuff you could do with a NASCAR career mode, and a lot of it's been done over the years of previous career modes from the EA games. So, and also real quick, had to move, the face came up. The only thing I was blocking there was the next race. But yeah, we don't 100% know what's behind all these. Season status, I'm interested. We don't have a stats page here. We had a stats page in NASCAR Heat 2 career mode. Man, a lot of people have been asking for stats, and after playing Thunder 04, God, I forgot how good the stats were in that game. It's just like everything you could possibly want is there. And, once again, we don't know what's behind all these little tabs, but, man, I need the stats, man. I need the stats for career mode. It's always fun to go back and look at not only what you have accomplished through your road from, the Dirt Late Model Series all the way to the Cup Series, but I would assume we're probably not going to see any, driver movement, but it would be cool to see what all these other guys have accomplished in their own series, especially, if you get into the Cup Series, what some of the drivers do over time. So that's always something they can go back and work on or add or something. And again, we got pretty long time till the game comes out. So hopefully they can continue to add stuff. But we'll go ahead and continue up here. So yeah, they're kind of scrolling through here. So here's Bristol. They got NASCAR 8-3 on the jumbotron here. So Dirt Bristol looking pretty good. These guys hauling down the back stretch. So we got some yes, another clip here. So see what I'm kind of talking about here? We're like, it looks like center of the corner right here. And it looks like they're just kind of chilling. Like this guy, 22 here, he's just kind of straight going through the corner. And they're also kind of like right in the middle of the track. That was another thing that bugged me with Eldora. The only way you could be fast at Eldora in NASCAR Heat 2 was if you ran the very bottom of the track. Nothing else really worked. With this, and especially the AI cars only ran like right there around the middle of the track. AI is something we'll get to in a little bit, but this looks like a simple, modified race at a dirt track. You got all the AI and stuff like that. So say we're controlling this guy. Everybody's in the same middle 2 lanes, and that's something that drove me crazy in NASCAR Heat 2. I want to see some of the AI cars like testing out the high side. I want to see some guys using the bottom side. Like that's dirt racing. You're gonna have your guys trying to make the top work, and you're gonna have your guys making the bottom work. And then you'll have the guys in the back of the pack trying to make any line work. I mean, obviously it's not gonna be perfect. AI can never be perfect, but please, that would be huge to get the AI out of the middle 2 lanes. I would sure if we go back to some of these, some of these clips back here, it's something I never really took a look at. Alex Bowman just kind of chilling in the middle of the track. That was another thing. The AI were just kind of, especially the plate tracks, they never really ran high or low. They just kind of would sit there in the middle, and then the next AI car would kind of sneak up and under. Looking at some of these others, it's kind of hard to tell, but we got Bowman here on the high side. Jimmy Johnson's just kind of chilling in the middle, so it's kind of hard to tell. But honestly, just from like looking at some of these clips, I don't even know what's going on here. We got like Chase Elliott up here by himself. I don't know if his car is just that OP that he's passing everybody by himself, but we got some of these guys almost look like they're coming into pit road. Looks like maybe Truex back in here. I don't know what the AI are doing, but it doesn't look like they're really working the draft very much. So once again, a little concerning there. But let's go back up in here and look at this trailer. So got some of these guys coming to the line here at a dirt track. But, well, okay. So this is basically what we had in NASCAR Heat 2, the victory celebration. Hopefully we don't see Chase Elliott here. Because, oh boy, the player modeling was pretty ugly, I gotta say. Just the you had that like opening clip where they would be like leaning up against the car or whatever. They'd be standing there with the car. Then afterwards, you get this. So yeah, this is pretty much the same thing from last year. So I would have liked to seen something a little bit different instead of the same animation. But looks like he just won the Coke 600. So or the well, hold on. So we got the Bank of America 500. But that race doesn't exist anymore, am I right? That should be the Roval. So, yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there. But, yes, this is about the end of it. So now we get some interesting stuff. So esports tournaments. Interesting. They sort of kind of flirted with that in NASCAR Heat 2. I was actually part of the first one at Richmond. And that was, well, it was something. I thought it could have been done a little bit better. But, it was their first one, so I'm sure they'll continue to improve that. But yeah, I think they threw around the possibility of doing them in a lot, if not all, of the like race weekends at the track. So I would assume maybe at some point, you go to a race and you could probably sign up for a tournament or something like that. But yeah, so we get that. We get pre-built setups. If they're anything like the iRacing pre-built setups, they're gonna suck. But I don't know, setups. I was not a big fan of a NASCAR Heat 2. They gave you everything to adjust with. And everything you adjusted with only did like 1 or 2 things to the car. I didn't think the car handling was all very good, especially messing with setups that should have done stuff for the car that just kind of didn't. A lot of the setups were very numb, in my opinion. But pre-built setups, that'll help people for who don't really mess with setups and don't just it'll be easier to pop in a setup, I guess, for that. But new tracks, we know that already with the dirt tracks and stuff like that. Improved AI. I hope so. The AI were horrible in NASCAR Heat 2. Basically at every track. They would check up randomly at a turn 4 at Martinsville. They would crash themselves at a lot of the mile and a halves. Not only going through like going on the front stretch at a lot of the like Charlotte, Atlanta, Texas, a lot of those tracks. Texas was broken for some apparent reason. I have no idea why. They would go off into turn 1. They would just kind of bounce off each other. They would like check up and then bounce off each other. Somebody would get tossed sideways, and then 6 cars would flip. So hopefully we see. I mean, they need improved in a lot of different ways. Not only in pit logic, racing themselves, racing other users. The list goes on. Deeper career mode. Obviously, we sort of kind of know that. We get another series, and then obviously you'll be able to upgrade some way somehow, which looks good. 40 car multiplayer. We had that last year, and that's about it. So, I mean, this was basically just kind of my first impressions of just like this is the first time I went back and watched the trailer like in depth. Once again, I was sitting there watching the Hendrick stream. This trailer like blew by in 15 seconds. I didn't even know what I just watched. It was a very, very quick trailer, but yeah, definitely take your time if you want to go back and watch it and just kind of clip through here. I'm sure there's definitely some stuff I missed, like the fans. That seemed to be one cool thing at the Roval. There's going to be like fans just kind of like chilling over here. We got one guy looks like he's leaning up against the fence. Somebody's going to come tell these people to get away from the fence. But yeah, we'll bump it back to the clip here. So we got these people chilling up here watching the race. That's pretty cool. So it seems like there's going to be some random people just chilling around. But I definitely like what I see. I think once again, I feel like most everybody cares the most about career mode for the most part. So I feel like that's what they needed to work on. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much more to say. But I gotta say, I am happy. I wish they, with today's announcement, I wish they would have done a little bit more than just drop us a trailer. I feel like there's a lot of build up for it. I was expecting somebody to come out with 704 Games and kind of talk us through some of the features that were shown in the trailer, or give us some more other than the trailer. Because I mean, obviously we get some answers here, and Amazon kind of leaked a lot of stuff today as well, and some screenshots like beforehand. So, but I've been kind of going through this for. It's been about an hour since the trailer's been released, so I don't know if there's been any more information given out. But yeah, so far so good. So for one, the new series will make the career mode longer, and it looks like there's a lot more to do in the career mode. Another thing I'm just looking at now, so you got these modifieds back here in this giant 99 font. One thing that I didn't really see addressed was the paint booth. I'm a little worried again because 99 was one of those default numbers, and it looks like that default number font back there that, again, just looked really stupid. So hopefully we get more than like 5 numbers than we had in NASCAR Heat 2. Hopefully we get more number fonts, and hopefully we get more paint scheme options. Perfect world would be that we get a full paint booth. I kind of thought we'd see an update for one in NASCAR Heat 2. We never got that. But yeah, so obviously there's quite a few things we don't know about yet, and a lot of things we don't have answers to yet. But once again, so far, not too bad. The game doesn't come out till September 7th, so we'll see more as time goes on. But let me know what you guys think of the trailer. For me, not too bad. I'm excited to hopefully get some more information, some more clips. But most importantly, I'm really excited to get to September 7th so I can sit down and play a game and really tell you what I think. But yeah, there you guys have it. That'll do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't usually do stuff like this, but I've talked about NASCAR Heat 3 now for a long time, whether it was in my wishlist video, in streams of NASCAR Heat 2, in streams of just other games, just talking about the game, through Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. So I definitely want to do something like this and kind of tell you my thoughts with some of the people that I've talked about NASCAR Heat 2 and NASCAR Heat 3 with for quite a while now. So this is kind of what I think. Let me know what you guys think as well. But yeah, that'll do it. So appreciate you guys as always. I'll see you all in the next video.
Be ready. Green.